Have you ever looked at yourself, your life, your situation, or maybe someone else and asked the question, how did I get here? How did we get here? How did they get here? How did this happen? You've looked in the mirror and before you know it, you've gotten so far and you don't even know how you got there. Well, let's talk about it.
Welcome to the Then Comes Love podcast. We are your hosts. We are the Butlers, Wendell and Anidra, and we want to say Happy New Year to all the lovers in the world.
Yes.
To those of you who are still together, y'all still married, even though she get on your nerves.
We made it.
She still be talking that yap all the time, but hey, you done made it through.
Stop it.
We gotta made it through.
Yes.
Let me say, in 2026, this is the time of the year now, people, where we have these resolutions. Now I know you're gonna lose weight this time. You know what I mean? You're going to the gym. You're gonna diet. You're gonna eat right. You're gonna read your word. You're gonna be a better husband. Yada 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 yada. We know this because you did this last year. You said you was going to lose weight last year. You said you was going to go to the gym. You said you was going to read your word and be fit. And it lasted all of 2 weeks. Now, why is that? Why do we set these goals and we don't ever follow through?
Distractions. Distractions.
Wow.
In 2026, we want to call out.
We calling y'all out.
Yeah, we calling out those things. And we're going to stick to what we said we're going to do. Because, Wendell and I, we took time to, like he said, to reflect on 2025 and celebrate the things that God did, celebrate the small wins. And then in 2026, we asked ourselves, what do we want for our marriage? What do we want for our family, our finances? And what is the thing that keeps us from getting there? Why didn't we do the things that we set out to accomplish in 2025? Some of it, we got distracted too. So we're not just talking about you.
Right.
It happens to us too. And so what made us think about, want to hit this is because that's how the enemy works. Yeah. He understands our weaknesses. He understands our distractions, the things that distracts us. And he slowly but surely starts distracting us and getting us off kilter. Yeah. And before we know it, the thing that we said that we were going to do in 2025 or 2026, we're not even doing it anymore. We're not even interested. We say, I'll do it tomorrow or I'll do it this day. And then that thing turns into, now I'm not doing anything at all. And so we started thinking about, people that we grew up with and we grew up in a church that we respected, maybe in school, in our community, in our family, that we look up to, and we or maybe even ourselves, because we can be so hard on ourselves. Because when you hit a new year and you start to reflect on, you look at yourself. And sometimes we can look at ourselves, we can look at our life, and we can look at other people and we say, how did we get here? What happened? Yeah. Like you find out, for us, on social media or maybe on the news, you found out such and such abused his wife or such and such killed this person.
Got a whole other family in another state.
What happened? There was what happened? Distractions. That's how the enemy works. If he can slowly but surely get us disconnected. If he can slowly but surely get us disconnected. You see, because when we disconnect from God, we talk about this in our podcast. Hopefully you've heard us say that we've got to put Jesus at the center. That's the only way that's the only way marriage is going to work. And when the enemy gets us distracted, he gets us disconnected with the Father. And when we're disconnected with the Father, we find out who we really are. God saves us from us, our sinful nature, and you'll be surprised at the things that you will do, the person that you will become when you disconnect from him. Yeah. We are something else.
Yeah. Pretty rotten.
Yeah, we are something else. And when we disconnect, it doesn't happen overnight. These people you don't become this person overnight. You don't do these things that you said that you would never do overnight. It is gradual. That's how the enemy works. He slowly but surely does it.
Yeah, he does. It's so important to be connected. As a matter of fact, Jesus talks about this in a parable in John 15. And he basically says it's impossible to live this life without me. Strong words. He says that I'm the true vine, and you guys, you're the branches. And he says we're connected in that way. You won't be successful in this life. And those are some of us who decided, hey, we don't want to follow Christ anymore. We don't want to do the things we're supposed to do. And you're disconnected from him. He says his father, the gardener, he says he takes a sharp knife because you don't want to follow, you don't want to be connected. So he disconnects those who don't want to be connected from the vine. And that branch falls on the ground into the fiery furnace, and it dies. And it's a painful process to be cut off. It's death. But then he says those of us who continue to serve and who want to follow Christ and who want to be in relationship with him, and we're doing the things we're supposed to do. But he says in that process, he takes that same knife that he just used to cut off others. He takes that same sharp knife and he cuts back. It says he prunes those of us. And the pruning process is when he takes dead branches and he takes stems and he cuts it off of you in order for you to be more fruitful, to be more successful, to be blessed in this life. But the process still hurts. So you sit back and you wonder, man, why am I going through these things? Why am I have to go through a divorce or a death of a child? I'm talking about painful things where it feels like
loss
death.
of a job.
Loss of a job. These scenarios in my life that's happening to me. And I'm not saying God is causing these things, but sometimes we go through this pain only because God is preparing you for more. He's preparing you. He's going to bless you with more, but you can't see it right now because all you see is this pain and this death. But I'm here to tell you, he's not here to kill you. He's just here to prune you. And he's going to give you a better life. He's going to give it more blessings, and you're going to be fruitful. And you'll look back and you'll be like, man, God, you did that thing. You just can't see it now because all you have right now is this excruciating pain.
And then kind of piggybacking off of that, a lot of us don't make it through the pruning process.
Right. Because we go through that pain, we just quit. Man, forget it. This ain't for me. I'm supposed to be God's chosen. I'm supposed to be.
We get discouraged.
Yeah, we get upset at God, the one who's trying to bless us, who's trying to give us more. But it's so painful we can't see it.
I think one of the things that as we're looking at 2026, it is so important for us to not only be connected with God, but I think it's also important for us to be connected with people. I'm not talking about just random people.
Yeah.
We're talking about people that you can trust, people that will encourage you. We've talked about that couple for you guys several times. If you haven't caught that now, you need somebody.
Somebody who's where you want to be, who can speak into your life. Yeah.
You need that because there are areas in our lives that we can't see. And so sometimes when we're going through that pruning process, when we're going through it in life, when we're going through it in our marriage, sometimes we only see where we're at. We only see what's right in front of us. And it takes sometimes somebody outside of your situation, outside of your relationship to say, no, you're doing good. And they start celebrating the things that you like, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about, I don't have a job, but I still got food in the refrigerator. I mean, bills are still getting paid. How is this happening? Right. He can help point out those things. But those people that you connect with, they can also point out the areas that you may not see the negatively. Like, hey, you start not to read your word, and you're not going to church now. What's up with that? Because that's what happens with those distractions. We say, oh, I don't feel like doing this today. I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like praying. I don't feel like reading my word. And before you know it, that I don't feel like it, that one day has turned into a full-blown habit. Yeah. And you're not doing it at all. And so those people that you connect with, they'll point out those things and they know, and you can receive it because you know that they mean well. They're not there to judge you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's important.
People can see a side of you that you don't see in yourself. Have you ever taught like a Sunday school class or you thought you did a terrible job and someone walks up to you and say, hey man, that was really good. Or maybe you sung a song and you thought that song was
trash.
And someone said, girl, you sung that thing. Because they see the God in you that you don't see. And so that's why it's so important to have those around you to encourage you. But you gotta allow people to speak into your life. because everybody don't like to be rebuked.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you've got to be open. That's why the people you surround yourself with, you have to know who they are and trust that they love you and want what's best for you, so you can receive what they have to say, positively or negatively.
I'm telling you, we're not trying to bash you. We're not the type of people to try to bash you with the Bible or beat you over the head with it. But what we know for sure is that marriage is hard.
Yes.
Life is hard. And if you try to do it without God, you're going to fail. You'll never be able to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish if you do it without him. Yeah. And so everybody's telling us, set these New Year's resolutions, set these goals and all of these things. But if you don't connect with him first, you're missing it. Because it's you can be working on something without his help, without his direction, and he didn't even tell you to do that in the first place. I'll say it like this: I'm a task person.
Yes, you are.
Anybody knows that I mark things off my list, and a lot of times I mess up with that though, because I'll start with my list instead of starting with him. And if I just start with him, he will give me the strategy I need to be able to work through my list. And so, you think like, well, no, if I can just get through this list, my day will be, but if you connect with him, he can tell you, do this, and this. And before you know, his ways are always better than ours. So he can give you the strategy you need. And so in 2026, we're inviting you to connect with God. Get connected, because you before you know it, if you're not connected with him, you'll slowly but surely become distracted, and you'll start to become this person that you don't even recognize. And you'll start to do the things that you didn't even mean to do, and you'll slowly but surely start to get off track. So it's important.
So before you worry about being healthy or being fit or reading that book or whatever your resolution is before, let's keep the main thing, and let's focus on strengthening our relationship with the Father. And once we do that, everything else will fall in place, I guarantee you. Let that be your New Year's resolution.
Yeah, let that be number one. And it's not, and then I would take those other things that you have on your list. If it's losing weight, if it's reading a book, or if it's going to whatever it is, then you present that like, okay, is this what you want? Not because our life is not about us. Ooh. We were all brought here for a purpose.
And let me say this: we're still talking about resolutions that definitely want to be in relationship with the Father. Let that be a resolution. Don't worry about, God, please change this woman, because she ain't this and she ain't that. She need to work on this. She need to work on that. Let's concentrate on us.
Work on you, boo.
What can I do to be a better husband to her? God, help me, show me what I need to do to be a better father. It don't matter. Now, some of us are in relationships where maybe your husband is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at this point.
Or maybe he's not your husband. Ooh.
Okay, well, I ain't even addressing that. I ain't got to address that.
Did I say that?
But but I'm just talking about, some of us have maybe a husband, maybe he's not a believer and he's off doing whatever he wants to do, and he's like, you've been praying, God, change this man, change this man, change this man. 2026, God, change me, and let me shine, so that when he sees me, he sees something different about me. Use me to change my spouse. How can I be the best version of myself for this man, to get him to see, you. So there's just so many things that we need to just worry about ourselves.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if you're dating, I would just encourage you. This is why it's important to be with someone who is like-minded, and believes in the same things that you believe in, because it's going to be hard for you if you're trying to do something that they're not.
Man, to those who are dating, I just want to say this right now to that young lady or young man who's dating. When you find somebody who checks off all the boxes, you ignore the flaws. Don't ignore the flaws. Okay? If you're not equally,
you're not asking for perfection.
No. Not talking about perfection. I'm talking about you've ignored the red flags. He don't really be at church. He just going to church because you there. That type of thing.
That's a good one.
He's just trying to get you. He's not really into the God like that, but you are. Don't ignore the red flags. It's not going to change once you get married. It's going to cause a whole lot of pain and suffering in the long run. So pay attention to those things. Yeah, he fine. I understand that. You haven't seen nobody like him. I get that. We talking about your life here.
Don't settle.
Not in that area anyway. If he a little ugly but little low, you can settle in that one a little bit.
Just put a sheet over his face.
Stop.
I'm joking.
Oh my goodness.
I'm joking. But yeah, seriously, we want to make sure that in 2026 that we are not being distracted by the things of this world and that or by other people, because social media is good for that. But we want to make sure we are focused on who we need to be focused on, and that is Jesus Christ. And so we would be doing you a disservice if we told you that you can do this thing called marriage and you can do this thing called life without him, because you can't. And we are living proof of that. And so we hope that in 2026 that when we get to 2027, that you'll look back over 2026 and be like, we did it.
We did that
we
thing.
did it. And it wasn't just because of who we are, but because we did it with God. And so we hope that this has encouraged you. We hope that you'll continue to follow along with us. Subscribe,
share.
Yes.
And we were kind of serious today to kick off the new year, but we are silly. We like to play. And,
we like to
we
have
gonna
fun.
have fun this year.
We're
We're gonna have fun this year. You know what I mean?
But life ain't all fun and games.
Sure ain't.
So sometimes you got to get serious. And so let's get serious in 2026.
And we'll see you next time on the Then Comes Love podcast.
Yes, holla.
Peace.